A fisherman lived by the sea with his wife and 4 children, struggling each day to catch enough fish to feed them. Most days brought only tiny fish, sometimes nothing at all. One morning, his net pulled up a dead seahorse, then a bag of old spoons, and finally a dirty bottle. When he washed it clean, he discovered it was made of gold, with strange writing on its surface. His heart leaped with joy, thinking he could finally sell something valuable. Curious about what might be inside, he carefully opened the bottle. Black smoke poured out, swirling upward until it formed into a massive giant. The fisherman stumbled backward in terror as the giant's voice boomed across the beach, declaring that he would kill the man who freed him. The fisherman begged to know why he deserved death for such a simple act. The giant explained that, long ago, the king of all giants had punished him for walking with his youngest daughter by the sea. The king had sealed him inside the bottle with magic words and thrown him into the ocean. For the first 100 years trapped inside, the giant had promised to make whoever freed him a great ruler. After 200 years with no rescue, he lowered his promise to mere wealth. But after 300 years of imprisonment, rage consumed him, and he vowed to kill whoever finally opened the bottle. The fisherman's mind raced. He looked at the enormous giant, then at the small bottle, and doubt crept into his voice. How could something so massive have ever fit inside such a tiny container? The giant, offended by the question, transformed back into smoke and rushed into the bottle to prove it. The moment the last wisp of smoke entered, the fisherman slammed the top back on and held it tight. From inside, the giant's muffled voice pleaded and promised riches beyond imagination. The fisherman hesitated, weighing the risk, then finally opened the bottle again. The grateful giant led him over mountains to a hidden sea that shimmered with blue and silver light. There, the fisherman caught 3 extraordinary fish, each one colored in brilliant shades of green, white, and red. The giant told him to take these to the king, then vanished into the earth. When the king saw the unusual fish, he rewarded the fisherman generously with gold. That night, the fisherman's family ate meat, bread, vegetables, and fruit for the first time in their lives, their bellies full and their hearts light. The king ordered his cook to prepare the fish for dinner. As they cooked over the fire, the smoke turned blue and silver, and a mysterious woman appeared. She asked the fish if they were doing their work, and the fish raised their heads to answer that they were content. The woman then threw them into the flames and disappeared. When the king arrived expecting his meal, he found only ashes. Determined to understand this magic, he sent for the fisherman to bring more fish. The same strange event occurred with the second batch, except this time a man with green hair emerged from green and silver smoke. The king decided to investigate the source himself and followed the fisherman to the magical sea. Beyond the shimmering waters, they discovered a magnificent house made of blue stone, surrounded by gardens full of beautiful flowers. Inside the empty house, the king heard a voice crying out in despair. He found a young man lying on the floor, unable to stand. When the king removed the coat covering him, he saw that the man's feet had turned to red stone. The young man told his tragic story. He had once been king of a great city, but his queen had fallen in love with a servant. When he discovered their betrayal and fought the servant, leaving him unable to walk, his wife used magic to punish him. She turned his feet to stone, transformed all his people into fish, and replaced his entire kingdom with mountains and a magical sea. The servant now lived in a small blue stone house in the garden where the queen visited him daily. The king listened carefully, then made his way to the garden house. He found the servant inside and killed him, hiding the body before lying down in the servant's place with a coat over his face. When the queen arrived and asked if her beloved was happy, the disguised king complained about hearing the young king's cries. She returned to her husband and poured magic water on his stone feet, restoring them. But when she came back and the king complained about hearing the people cry, she went to the sea and spoke magic words. The city rose up from the waters, and all the people returned to their human forms, running joyfully through the streets. She returned once more to the garden house, believing her servant was finally content. As she leaned close, the king threw off the coat, wrapped his arms around her, and ended her life with his blade. He returned to the young king with news that the evil queen was dead and his kingdom restored. The two kings became close friends, their kingdoms united in friendship and trade. The fisherman and his family received gifts and gold from both rulers for the rest of their days. They never went hungry again, and though fish swam freely in all the seas, neither kingdom ever ate them again, remembering the magic and sorrow they had once contained